Hi, this is Kesha Rogers with Houstex, and I am here in Houston, Texas at the George R. Brown Convention Center with an on-the-grounds report for you, live from the Houstex conference taking place here, the Manufacturing and Technology Conference. There are numerous manufacturers, industrial firms, 3D printing, CNC firms, machinists from all over the country. This is one of the largest manufacturing conferences in the country. And what we have found so far here is a lot of the manufacturing firms are advancing their technologies in new advanced forms of CNC machines and are using new robotic forms of machine tool design and manufacturing, as well as training up a new generation of skilled labor. And a lot of this is centered around the breakthrough in additive manufacturing, 3D printing. I've met companies that are printing through using plasma CNC machines to cut through metals. I am also talking to people who are using new CNC machines that are working on improving milling and lathe machines. And most of the companies produce right here in the United States. Now, as you know, Houstex has put out a report, a resolution on re-Americanizing the U.S. economy, and I've been talking to people here at the conference about that, what it's going to take to reshore, retool our American economy, to bring our jobs and productivity right back here into the United States. And if you want to know where the producers are, that this is the conference you will find them at. I've talked to companies that make optical equipment, and one company said that they made some of the optics equipment that went up on the Hubble telescope. I've spoken with companies that are training in welding, CNC welding machinists, as well as all different types of productive backgrounds here. So I will be bringing you more in terms of some of the awesome clips I've gotten, some of the demonstrations I've been able to get from how these machines are produced, as far as some of the impact on the breakdown in supply chain. One thing that's interesting that I've found is that a lot of these companies, as they said, they are producers right here in the United States. Some of them do run into troubles in terms of getting certain supplies to fix their equipment. One company said to me that a machine that they brought here for display, they were planning on bringing a second one, and due to the fact that their machine broke and they had electrical wiring problems that they needed to have shipped in, they had problems getting those parts shipped in that they needed in time. So that is definitely a big problem. But one thing is, as far as getting younger people engaged in these fields of science, manufacturing, technology, the improvements in exciting young people around the robotics, around automated machining, but this also gets to the question of actually improving our productivity. With these CNC machines, these automated machines that are assisted by robotic systems, it's pretty fascinating because you can actually get lots more productivity and work done. Some people refer to this as lights out manufacturing. So when the humans are going on break or need to go and be more productive, then they can program these machines to actually be able to produce more and continue to do the work. So you can see, as far as machine tool design and improving the productivity of the work and labor force, as Mr. Lyndon LaRouche, economist Lyndon LaRouche, has made very clear in terms of how do you increase productivity in your workforce. This is a great example of how to do that. So I will be coming back to you with more reports and more demonstrations from the conference. Thanks a lot for listening. This is Kesha with Houstex on the grounds from the Houstex conference in Houston, Texas. Thanks. Hi, this is Kesha Rogers, and I'm here at the Houstex conference in Houston, Texas, and I'm joined with Trokon, Tompo. Trokon, hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. You're enjoying yourself here?
I am. It's been a good conference so far.
All right. So we had a conversation, and we were talking about what is needed to get young people involved in manufacturing, production, in the field of manufacturing technology. So give us a little bit of a sense of, first of all, what you do, and how you're improving that.
Okay. So I am a retired engineer, right, is what I like to say. So I was an engineer for about 10 years, so a whole decade, where I held almost every engineering position you can have in a manufacturing facility, right? So project engineer, quality engineer, manufacturing engineer, quality assurance supervisor, total industrial engineer manager, you name it, I've done it in a production setting. And then I did that for about 10 years. I got burnt out and I crossed over into training. So I did corporate training, and eventually I became a consultant.
Okay.
So now I'm an executive consultant for Myriad Industries. And what we do is corporate training. So we actually train people on HVAC, CNC machinists, welding, IT support specialists. We have a bunch of different programs that we can offer in person or online. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question, I think to get people more involved in manufacturing, it's almost just lifting the veil, right? So I don't think a lot of people understand what manufacturing is or what we actually do. So when I meet a lot of young people, like they really like technology, you like your cell phone, you like your iPad, but you may not understand how it works or what it really is, And there's nothing more technical than actually going in and actually designing a robot to move, right? So if you really like technology, I mean, yeah, we could go and code and design a game, or we can go and program a robot welder and weld doors on a car, So I think when we think of manufacturing, we just think it's old, dirty, and you're just sitting there pulling a lever, when in actuality, we probably have some of the, we're probably more high tech and play with robots better than anybody else.
Yeah, I hear that now, especially with some of the fabrication fab labs that they have set up on the university campuses or on some of the technical schools and colleges. This is really helping to recruit young people as well with 3D and additive manufacturing, but also in CNC. So you guys do some of that type of training?
Yes. So with the Fab Lab and some of these emerging technologies, it's actually made for the youth because nobody else knows how to use them. And they are changing the industry on the regular, right? So this is what most smaller manufacturers, medium-sized manufacturers, they're going to additive manufacturing first. They're looking for custom design parts to fit some of their machines. They're not really trying to buy things off the shelf, right? So since COVID's happened, there's a huge backlog on just receiving anything. It's hard to go get car parts. People are waiting in line just to buy cars. People are waiting in lines for food. Well, they're also waiting in line to order parts to fix their machines. Or I could have a young engineer or somebody who actually knows about additive manufacturing design it and print it out for me in about 5 hours.
It's pretty amazing.
Right? And what will they pay you if you could be that person?
Right.
It's how, we would like young people to start thinking. But even if you want to be a CNC machinist, I mean, learning how to G-code and M-code is cool, but running a part takes 4 hours and you're on one machine. So after you push the start button, you just sit and monitor it. And it's not a bad job at all to have. If you think about it, all the different things you could be doing. I could sit at a cashier's desk and stand up all day. I could be at a distribution center throwing boxes, or I could program this machine, push start, and sit down and get on Facebook.
Or you can be a little bit more productive and make some creative discovery.
That example is actually what used to happen in one of the factories that I worked in, where the operators literally used to just push start and be on YouTube all day, and it was okay because they were running the part, they were kicking out good parts, and somebody has to man the machine. So that could actually be a part of your job, but it's not always a bad thing.
That's right. And that's interesting because the question of making the work more productive, getting more productivity out of your work, it seems as though that is what we're moving toward right now.
Yes. So There is a labor shortage right now, so we have to do more with less because the demand hasn't gone anywhere. And how do we achieve that? It's going to be through technology and innovative new designs, new ways of thinking. So if you could think why we're looking for younger, new designs is because who else is going to solve these problems? You know, who else can see it from a different perspective? It's not going to be the person sitting there that's been running this business for 30 years because they only know how to do it this one way, and that's how we got here.
Right.
But to push it forward, we need a new direction and new eyes.
That's absolutely right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're
and
welcome.
what would you say in terms of what do you think is really going to create the type of drive to get young people involved? Are there certain programs that are going on right now that you really would encourage people to get involved in?
I think probably the best thing you could do is there are robotics programs, there are robotics competitions, but you know, coming to exhibits like this and actually seeing what the work looks like and seeing what it could actually be, I think there's no substitution to it. What I used to do is I used to watch How It's Made when I was in college. So How It's Made is a TV show. You can even go on YouTube and just see what real manufacturing is, you know, and see what that Benz factory looks like in Germany. And they're actually building the car with robots, and it's completely clean. It's glass everywhere, and it's just amazing to see how manufacturing actually works today. You know, so I think How It's Made would probably be a great show to just scratch the surface and you know, chase to jump down that rabbit hole.
Good advice. Okay, thanks a lot.
All right.